Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to the TVKF 2025. If you are just joining us this afternoon, thank you so much for being with us for this 32nd edition. So for over 3 decades, TVKF has embodied RTL AdAlliance's data-driven vision, offering you, the media and advertising community, fresh insights into how audiences engage with video content across the total video landscape. And this year, one word actually really stands out and is at the heart of it all. And that word is trust. Because in times of fragmentation, misinformation, and endless content, trusted media matters more than ever for viewers, for brands, for advertisers, and for society, actually, as a whole. Over the next hour, we are going to explore the theme of trust, and here is what's on the menu. We'll be doing this with the Senior Marketing Director of RTL AdAlliance, Aurélie Brunet de Coursoux. We'll take a closer look at the key findings of this year's TVKey Facts. Kevin Carbonell from M6 will join us on stage to present a powerful case study showing how legacy brands and iconic TV formats can build trust that drives success. And Stefan Koruble, CEO of RTL AdAlliance, will conclude our show with some insights and some words on the importance of trusted media and give us the key facts, of course. Our first topic is brands and trust. So trust is something every brand aspires to build, but for some, it's absolutely vital, of course. To talk about it, we've chosen 2 brands whom for trust is extremely important. It's not just a value, but it's more of a daily responsibility. Wero, a new European payment solution backed by leading banks, and of course, AXA, one of the world's most recognized insurance brands. They both operate in fields where credibility is absolutely non-negotiable. So please join me in welcoming our 2 guests, Rishma Pirali and Marine Gissi. Come and join me, ladies. Please take the microphones here. Great to have you with us. Wonderful to see you today. Welcome to both of you. Rishma, Marine, thank you for being here and accepting our invitation, first of all. Could you tell us a little bit about your brands to start with so we get an idea of who you are? Rishma first.
Hi, Louise. Hello, everyone. EPI, short for European Payment Initiative, is an initiative backed by 16 European banks and acquirers, join forces to deliver a safe and sovereign payment method for consumer and merchant. Our customer-facing product is called Wero, which we've been rolling out last summer in France, Germany, Belgium, and soon in the Netherlands and in Luxembourg.
Great. Marine, give us an idea of who you are.
Yeah, so AXA, a well-established brand. Let's give me fun facts about AXA. We are not so old. We are just celebrating our 40th anniversary this year, so not so old for in insurance.
That's a great age.
Yes. And well-established also because we are having more than 100,000 employees across 50 countries.
Okay, great. So yeah, quite impressive there. So both of you, as I said in the introduction, represent industries where trust is absolutely essential, absolutely vital. So how do you make sure, I think that's the question, that it's reflected in your marketing strategy, Richma, first of all?
Yes, indeed. Payment is a very sensitive topic, and we need to be very careful. What is happening is that trust is really at the center of everything we do. And a big driver of trust for us is the association with the banks, which power and offer Wero mainly in their banking app. So this is really crucial, and this is already a trusted and learned environment for all our customers who already use their banking app. And on top of that, we started our service with peer-to-peer payment. So meaning that when you send money to your friends or family, you're already in a trusted environment. So later on, we will start with, we will continue with e-commerce and payment on sale payment.
Okay, and Marine, from your side?
Let me return the question. Will you trust an insurance brand to take care of your most valuable belonging? Should be your car, your life, your health, and your pension. I think like trust is the heart of a business.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah, definitely. So, Richma, the payment sector is obviously an incredible, busy sector. We can say there's lots of competitors out there. I won't list them all because I think we have them in mind. PayPal, Apple Pay, that kind of, those kind of people. So how does Wero, as a new European brand, actually stand out in this highly competitive market?
You're right. The payment sector is very saturated by powerful US player, Apple Pay, you just name it, Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, etc. Wero is a payment method made in Europe that is very rare in today's payment landscape. And the market knowledge we all bring with us enable us to make something very meaningful, because the creative highlights very familiar elements of for the consumer. And what we do, we have extracted some from I would say TV video show, very local and famous video show, where we have also the banks, the trusted bank, who appear into our creative. So that is our strength and our differentiator.
Okay, so what you're rolling out here is that, you're making European connections, I guess, as well with, legacy shows. And this sort of echoes, of course, with the DNA of RTL AdAlliance. You have a campaign, correct? A creative campaign?
We do have a campaign. Of course.
Okay, let's take a look. Here we go.
Wesh les fratés, moi c'est à manger. Salut. Quoi salut? Ah, toi tu te prends pour qui là? Tu vois pas que t'es la tâche du groupe? Allez c'est bon, je vous ai trop vu. Bande de allez vous faire. C'était vraiment une aventure de dingue.
10 secondes, c'est pas assez pour une télé-réalité. Mais avec Wero, c'est assez pour recevoir de l'argent directement sur votre compte bancaire, juste avec un numéro de téléphone.
Et maintenant, l'épreuve des légumes. C'est parti! 3, 2, 1, c'est terminé, on lève les bras.
Non, franchement, je suis content de moi, on est sur une belle carotte.
10 secondes, c'est pas assez pour une émission culinaire. Mais avec Wero, c'est assez pour recevoir de l'argent directement sur votre compte bancaire, juste avec un numéro de téléphone.
Niemals aufgeben, auch wenn der Weg weit ist.
10 Sekunden reichen nicht für eine Dschungelprüfung, aber mit Wero kannst du in 10 Sekunden von Konto zu Konto Geld senden. Rund um die Uhr.
Super content there, bravo. Very creative. Very excellent work there. Marine, if we move to the link between audiences and media, how do you perceive trust as an advertiser today?
It's a challenge. It's a challenge for a global advertiser because trust is very dependent on culture, on age. I mean, for example, in Japan, linear TV is still the major trust vehicles, while we are building trust through CTV in the UK for years now. And if we look at our lovely Gen Z generation, 73% of their buyings are influenced by communities, by content creators. So it's really difficult to build trust globally is a challenge. And if we look at the elephant in the room, like AI, it will also disrupt a bit a trust journey for sure. So we are really counting on the WPP global media players, and we are leveraging their learning to design local media plans based on the trust, where the trust vehicles are for audiences.
It's not one size fits all. I mean, you've got to keep studying the subject, of course, across age groups, across countries, across different dynamics there. Okay, I understand very well. Richma, how does the idea of trust shape your media plan today?
Our objective is to maximize the awareness and familiarity. So we have to be in every major media. Meaning that all the VOD, video on demand, TV replay is a strong asset for us. And our target group is pretty much everyone. So we need also to select media that can generate quick reach, but also maximize the repetition. So as I said, video on demand is a key asset for us because our users have also very strong digital habits. So this is why for us the media plan counts a lot. And as a young brand, it is also important for us to be on the, I would say, established media that is trusted by the public.
Mm-hmm. From your angle, Marine, you put a lot of trust, a lot of emphasis, should I say, on the careful media choices that you're making here, but also you are contributing to trustworthy environments, aren't you? Maybe you could talk a little bit on that subject. And you've also contributed to a program, I believe.
Yeah, we are a very selective brand in terms of media choice, media partners, channel, but also we pick the right placements also because yes, context matters a lot for two reasons on top of brand safety, of course. The first one is that when you are in a trusted, well-established environment, yes, your brand will be most trusted. And also because we want our media investments to support good creative, good content producers, and especially journalism. You said it as an intro, we are in a world where we are facing misinformation risks. Yeah. And so we are fighting this misinformation by investing through a foundation. And we have also a program called Back to Journalism, where we have a part of our investment dedicated to support journalism across the globe, which is very important for us as a committed brand. And not just a committed brand as an advertiser, but also as a business. Mm-hmm. And we are proudly now a brand of the year, celebrating by a Titanium Kind Lions with one of the initiative. And I think we have it here if you want to watch it.
We do have it here, and let's watch it together. Right. Here we go.
Parce qu'être une femme ne devrait jamais être un risque, l'assurance habitation AXA évolue. Elle permet désormais un relogement d'urgence en cas de violence conjugale. 3 mots qui peuvent tout changer. AXA.
Extremely powerful there as well. So very powerful there, and of course emotion is one thing, but proving that it drives real impact is another. When you look at your results, are there other KPIs that you look at that matter to you beyond the traditional ones, beyond the viewing, for example?
Yes, we have 3 years ago we have switched from a visibility KPIs to attention KPIs with really strong results. We have increased our return on investment on brand campaigns, but also we have decreased our carbon footprint because we have limited also the ad wastage. So it is very important to us also. And we are continuing this journey because we have also developed an algorithm with our attention partner Explain to bid on placement that will allow us to deliver the right level of attention for our creative to have the right impacts.
Mm-hmm. And from your end, Richma, what would you say on this subject?
As you have seen, our video creative are the strong asset for us. So we are looking for strong completion rate, which is why video on demand environment work well for us.
Great. So trust doesn't stop with audience, does it? I mean, that's obviously very, very, very important, but it also shapes the way you work with media partners today. What does that look like for you, Marine?
We have a strong relationship with media partners, very selective media partner, very qualitative media partners, and have to have two things, and they have to have like good results, and trust doesn't avoid control, as my father would say. So we have also strong measurement capability in-house to be sure that media partners are delivering good results, but also media partners are committed by our side. We have common testing roadmap to make sure that we are also improving the value that we are delivering to our audience together.
And Richma?
We have actually a small team now, so we rely heavily on our media agency Havas to help us on the planning, but also on the execution of the campaign. We need our media agency to help us with their expertise, with their data, with their insights, but also with their sensibility or cultural sensibility for European markets. And I think that this is what RTL AdAlliance has. And the way we advertise in Germany, as you have seen, was made possible only because of this expertise. And the usage of celebrity was doable only in this market.
Okay. Well, thank you very much to both of you. Please give them a huge round of applause. Thank you for this great exchange. I'll let you head back to your seats. So this is obviously a perfect introduction to what comes next as we look at how trust translates into data and media impact. Please welcome Aurélie Brunet de Coursoux for the next part. Trusted Media, Key Facts. Here we go. Really great to see you. How are you doing, first of all? Well?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be back on stage with you, Liz.
Yes, and to roll out the figures again today. So, as Senior Marketing Director of RTL AdAlliance, you will lead us through this year's insights. The title is Trusted Media, Key Facts. So, what inspired, tell us, this year's focus?
Well, the inspiration remains advertisers and agencies. And what most of them are telling us is that they feel overwhelmed by the quantity of data. And, they are meeting with publishers and platforms all year long, and they are all showcasing impressive figures, of course. Everyone is number one. So it's very hard for them to understand who to trust, but also which metrics. There are so many metrics out there. So which metrics are meaningful for them? So what we do with the TVKF Fact every year, as you know, is try to bring, meaning, but also the right perspective into total video viewing habits. For this edition, we've had a look to a lot of reports and data from Bob, from ThinkBox, from WPP, Stagwell, Samsung, and a lot of others companies. And again, the aim is really to try to help brands thrive in that environment and to bring meaningful numbers and also the right perspective into the data.
Okay, so you said that it's actually really, easy to get distracted by these big numbers. And I believe you've come today with some real clear illustrations of that.
Absolutely. So we can go straight to the first example, Liz.
Okay.
Quite recently, what happened that YouTube claimed they had 200 billion views for their short videos, which means that a person on Earth would watch 25 short videos per day, which is huge. The point is, what does it mean for an advertiser? Is there really a value for them in that number? So just to explain you what happened, is that earlier this year, YouTube decided to change their own definition of a view for short videos. So now the moment the short starts, and no matter how short the watch time is, then it counts as a view. And then as it loops, each loop would count as a view. So very clearly, for a brand, there is no really value with that metric.
So yeah, big numbers there with little meaning to them. And I guess that's not all, is it?
Well, it's not all because, of course, global platforms, they love to display global figures, right? But advertisers, they operate in local markets. So what we have this year, and this is very exciting, and it was a world first move in the UK with Barb, is that they started measuring 200 YouTube channels on the TV sets. Why? It's not displaying, of course, the whole potential of YouTube because it's just a TV set, so it's, let's say, roughly 43%. It's still really fascinating, so if you haven't done it yet, I really encourage you to look at the findings. Mm-hmm. Now, as an example, we are taking the example of Mr. Beast, which I'm sure you know is one of the most famous YouTuber. And if you go on his YouTube page, you can see that he has 447 million subscribers worldwide, which is huge. Now, thanks to Barb in the UK, the official measurement for broadcast, among others, is that you can see that in terms of weekly reach, it's 319K individual 4+. On the TV sets, which is comparable, to give you an idea, to the Yorkshire auction house, you might not know, and a not so well-known release channel. So what I mean is that the perspective does really matter.
Mm-hmm. This does drastically change from the first impression there. So with so much data actually flying around, how do we make sure that advertisers are drawing the right conclusions from the data?
Yeah. Again, it's a matter of perspective, right? I think we all, working in the media industry, we all came across, reports on how advertisers are splitting their ad spend, right? So we have official measurement companies, the like of Nielsen and Kantar, and they're doing a great job and doing their best to capture all ad spend across all advertisers, okay? And that's the kind of number you would get, like 75% of the ad spend in the UK goes to digital. Now, if you just look at that number, actually, it feeds that story, that legacy media is bound to disappear. And also, if you are a non-media expert, you see that number, 75%, and you're like, okay, if everyone is going digital massively, maybe there is strong reason for that, I should do the same. Now, the thing is, in that 75%, there is a lot of small companies' investment, right? And we know that the small companies, they invest massively.
Yeah.
Exactly. They hardly have another option than to invest in digital because it's cheaper and it's easier. Mm-hmm. Now, what we believe is that for a medium or large company, you need to further challenge those numbers, which are important to have, but you need to, get the perspective for your set of competition. And there, the picture is different, as you can see on the slide.
So what you're saying is that it's crucial for medium and large brands to look at the right set of data and not follow the assumed trends.
Yes, exactly that. So as you've seen before, so looking at it, 75% going to digital platforms, so the like of YouTube, Meta, Amazon, TikTok, right? So what we need, beside those numbers, is experts. An expert that will look at the data with a different lens, okay? Mm-hmm. And we really like the job done by the media agency WPP because they are doing exactly that. They are looking at the ad spend classification differently. So instead of the usual, the TV, print, digital split of ad spend, what they started to do is say, okay, then we have commerce, okay, which is retail media. We have intelligence, which is a search. We have location, which is outdoor and cinema. And then we have the content category.
Beyond this global perspective there, can we maybe go a little bit more granular?
Yes, we can go more granular because every advertiser needs to go beyond that global picture, which is interesting but not enough because, of course, each market would look differently and it's not comparable. So if we still keep the WPP classification of ad spend and we look at two countries as an example, France and China. So you can see that China, the retail media is very high. It's number 2 in terms of categories. Whereas in France, it was quite at the level of outdoor, and the second category is search. So a very different picture. And we need to go even more granular when we look at the data. For example, if we take the data from the IAB Europe, we can see that when it comes to digital spend, what is really driving the growth is streaming. So you would have the broadcast VOD, so the streaming platforms of the local broadcasters, which is a consolidated business, but still increased by 30% in Europe in 2024. But what really, the main growth on streaming came from the advertising tier of the SVOD platforms. Why? Because Amazon Prime Video, as you all know, they moved automatically all the users into seeing ads that year.
Okay, so streaming keeps growing from year to year in audience figures, of course, but not just, but also in ad investment. So what makes these platforms, let's say, so attractive to both viewers and, of course, to brands?
Well, a big part of the appeal of those streaming platforms is linked to the fact that the people watch them mainly on the TV set. And now when you watch something on the TV set, it means more co-viewing, it means a higher attention, it means more emotional impact. So in other words, living room is where the magic still happens. And now most households are equipped, as you know, they have a smart TV at home, which allow them to access to the Netflix and the Disney Plus and likes on top of linear TV. Now, in terms of equipment, it looks very different from a market to another. So it's only, let's say, only 47.6% in Japan, but it's like 74 in Brazil, to give you a few examples, or 84 in France. More TV sets being connected to the internet, so being connected TVs. The viewers, they have discovered what seems like an infinite library of content. And of course, we know that I'm sure most of you have a connected TV at home, so there is an impressive number of apps available on those TV sets. And what Samsung is showing us is that there is an increasing usage of the apps on their devices. This is AU5 data, as you can see the increase semester after semester.
So technology is clearly fueling growth, of course, but it's not just about access, is it? It's also about content.
Yes. It is, of course, very much about content for the viewers, because those streaming platforms, they give them an easy access to long-form professional content, so they can watch, the series, the movies, the documentaries. Now, when it comes to content, there is often this tendency to think that what people are after is, the new concept, the new show. But actually, we see that people like to rewatch legacy programs and shows. According to Digital Eye, so when we look at this slide, they are monitoring what people watch on the global streamers. So here you have across 19 countries worldwide, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Prime Video, and Netflix. And you can see the top 10 shows in terms of viewing hours, okay? And you can see, Suits and Gilmore Girl and Friends. So yeah, nothing really very recent. To give you an example, the second on the ranking, so The Big Bang Theory, it was broadcast from 2007 to 2009, so 2019. So very clearly, familiarity in content does matter a lot. And we see that not only for the global streamers, but also for the local broadcasters. So there are a lot of entertainment shows and programs that have been on air for years and are still very, very successful and a meeting point. I'm sure you recognize now a few of them in the video clip. So yeah, we have shows like The Masked Singers.
Oh yeah.
They started, it was started broadcasting 10 years ago. And it is in the top 10 of 7 countries out of the 70 monitored worldwide in 2024. Or a show like Dancing with the Stars. Louise, can you guess when it was first launched?
Oh gosh,
it was
I don't know, 15 years ago?
Yeah, 21 years ago.
21 years.
Absolutely. And still
doesn't make us feel any younger, does it?
And it's still in the top 10 of 6 countries. And I'm sure you all have a lot of examples of, those shows that have been on air for years and even decades, but are like still a reference for a generation of viewers.
So the appetite is really there for longer format, professional content, of course. And does this translate into where advertisers actually choose to invest?
Yes, absolutely, because advertisers are, following. We've seen the high increase in, in reach and also time spent for the streaming platforms. So that's where, increasingly viewers are. But not only. I mean, advertisers do invest on long-form professional content because it works, and it works across the whole marketing funnel. So here is some data comparing broadcast VOD and linear TV with video sharing platforms for an established brand. And as you can see, BVOD and linear TV are above average in awareness, in recommendation, in favorability, in intention to buy, and then translate in a high contribution to sales and ROI.
So it's also driving highest trust, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. Behind those very important KPIs, long-form content is really also driving the highest trust. And we see that very clearly from a research coming from the UK, which is called context effect. And they measure that we are 44% more likely to trust a brand seen alongside a professional content rather than a non-professional content.
So we're talking about trust. That's the subject of today. And if we go back to the discussion that we had at the beginning with Richma and Marine, from your perspective and from what you have analysed through the data, what would you say is the recipe for building trust?
I think they did a great job giving us a recipe of trust, I have to say. I think it was Richma who said that to be a trusted brand, very simply, you need to be known. I think it's true that fame is really coming as a first ingredient for a brand to be trusted, which means from a media perspective that you have to look indeed to touch point with a high reach and viewing time. Now, linear TV does give that. Let's have a look together. So when we see the global picture, here you have 86 countries worldwide. People watch an average of 2 hours and 19 minutes of linear TV daily. Okay, there are two regions that are driving down the average. You can see Asia and Oceania, but all the other regions are above average, including Europe and Africa, which is at the highest end of the spectrum with 3 hours and 48 minutes.
Throughout Europe, the consummation of television is very high, isn't it?
Yes, so you can see that consumption of linear TV in Europe is high, as well as the daily reach. So how daily reach is defined in linear TV in most markets is 1 consecutive minute of watch time on a day. And Europe being Europe, as you could expect, then it looks very different from market to another. So if we look at the viewing time daily on all individuals for Hungary, it's close to 5 hours, but it's like 2 hours in the Netherlands and Denmark. Now, if we look at the daily reach at another example for linear TV, you can see impressive data in Portugal, more than 80% daily reach for linear TV, but it's close to 55% in the UK.
Okay, so we talked about fame. What other ingredients would you add to this recipe for building trust, Aurélie?
So I think that was also mentioned by Richma and Marine. It's important of context. So where your ad appears alongside. And when a campaign runs next to culturally relevant shows, then this really transmits into the brand. So we have some programs which are really part of the collective memory. And again, the brand advertising alongside those programs really benefit from it.
Okay, and we have some of those local favorites for you to watch. So take a look.
Said I'm taking big shots. Just stop where I'm driven, no pit stops. This hot, I ain't playing like a 6 spot. pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots.
Bonsoir, bienvenue à Paris.
It's hot, I ain't playing like a 6-spot. Pissed off, thought I told him this a chip shot. I ain't missing cause you know I'm taking big shots. They've been trying to get me cheap like a thrift shop, but I told them it's my time, shit a wristwatch. They've been talking way before they even doing something. If they wanna play, let's get a tip off. Ain't no silver lining, dawg, this some rose gold. Getting new money, I'm a old soul. Yeah, I get it bouncing like a pogo. And I'm too cold like Frozone. And my chick elastic, girl. Told them we ain't in the faking, this ain't plastic, girl. Bought a new whip and cash, now my tax is thorough.
ما تحكي لي للهم.
सालों बाद आपने मेरा नाम लिया ना.
C'était les nouvelles du monde en ce mardi 21 octobre.
Okay, we check this. I know bringing me down is a part of your checklist, but you can't cause I'm feisty. You mad in the corner, I'm here sipping iced tea. So many bitches wanna down me. On the way to the top, can't reach, can't find me. Better chill with them looks. AK over here on the beats, making hits with hooks.
Okay, so great shows there, obviously, that have, yeah, you can applaud if you'd like to. So shows that have obviously struck a chord with audiences there. So fame and proximity are the first two ingredients. What's the next one? What's the last one?
I think it was Marine who brought the last one. It's the fact that brands can benefit from the good reputation of some media. And we have some also research, of course, backing this up. This one is coming from Thinkbox in the UK. And as you can see, the fact that a brand is advertising on TV or radio, for example, it will create more trustworthiness by default. And also, interestingly, this trust is automatic, it is emotional.
Instinctive, even, yeah.
Instinctive, yeah.
And this is also true for older audiences?
Yes, this is not true just for the older audiences, but the pattern holds for the 16-34 years old as well. So you can see that legacy media, the like cinema or radio or TV, they are driving the highest trust, even for the younger generations.
So if trusted environments can boost brand perception, does that also apply to news? I mean, obviously some advertisers are a bit sort of touchy about advertising close to very sensitive news. I mean, what does the data really tell us on that subject?
Well, the data is very clear on this topic, and that's the fact that the brands can really benefit from quality news. There are some advertisers who might be reluctant to advertise close to sensitive context, but what the data shows us is that there is no real reason to avoid it. Stagwell demonstrated that point. What they've did is that they run a study in several countries, but here we're showing the US numbers. So they've tested advertising alongside different contexts. Some sensitive contexts, so you can see it was crime, Biden, Trump, inflation, and then there was more like neutral or positive environment for the advertising. So it was business, sport, and entertainment. And very clearly what we can see that there is no difference when we look at the metric of the intention of buy. There is no real difference depending on the context.
It's equal there.
It's very equal. So really quality journalism, no matter the context, is really the right environment for a brand.
Okay, great. So if we had to just sum up in a few words this recipe for trust, it's be famous because reach builds credibility. It's be close to your audience.
With culturally relevant content.
With culturally relevant content. And be visible in trusted media.
Where credibility transfers to brand.
Perfect. We got it? Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Aurélie, thank you very much for rolling this out. And now let's move from data to action with a great case study on how Top Chef and Accor turned trust into success with, he's already here, Kevin Carbonell. Give him a round of applause. So, Kevin, it's great to have you with us today, of course. How are you doing, first of all? Good?
Very good, Louise.
Great. So you're going to talk to us about an iconic partnership between Accor, a world leader, of course, in hospitality, and Top Chef, one of France's most celebrated TV formats. The result is a 360 partnership that celebrates culinary experience. Over to you. Take us through the case.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you, Louise, for having me here. It's always a pleasure to share the stage with you. So I'm very glad, guys, to share with you the story behind the collaboration we had between Accor and M6, and more precisely Top Chef. But before diving into the keynote, it's important for you to know that Top Chef is one of our strongest IP in M6. Every year, we manage to build a lot of big brands ecosystem around this IP, and this one is quite unique because it's a full funnel activation from awareness to conversion, mixing media, content, and experience. And as every good storytelling, we begin with the brands, of course, and this question that you see behind me: how did we help Accor, the world hospitality leader, celebrate the excellence of its Mercure branch restaurants? So to do so, I wanted this keynote to look like a menu. So Louise, I hope you will like it. You will tell me afterwards, actually.
Wonderful.
And of course, we begin with the ambition of the brand. And if I have to make a digest out of the big brief that we had, I would probably say that we had to refresh the brand image and deal with this insight that say that you only dine at our restaurants if you're staying at the hotel.
And so how did you go about breaking this misconception? Because it is a misconception, correct?
Yeah, of course, indeed, it's a misconception. So what we did actually is we tried to leverage three main drivers that you see behind me, highlight the expertise of the chef and the excellence of the dining experiences, emphasize Mercure local roots and showcase the diversity of the cuisine, and of course, one of the most important one, highlight the variety of the hotel across France and position the restaurants as true social hubs. So to do so, we had to create like a big narrative, a big storytelling, and we wanted the planets to be aligned. And actually, we had in our pocket a magic recipe, a secret sauce. Maybe Louise, can you guess the secret sauce?
Oh, I would say it was maybe Top Chef.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. It's Top Chef. It's Top Chef, obviously. Top Chef, like I said before, great IP within M6. It's a landmark. It's a flagship show for culinary entertainment in France. And good news, at least for us, it's on M6. So there is a lot to say about Top Chef. But if I have to go straight to the point, I would say that Top Chef brings together all the ingredients, all the values a food brand or a hospitality brand are looking for. So you have some of them here: excellence, creativity, innovation, passion, authenticity. These are the core values of Top Chef.
Okay, so these are the values, but if we go beyond that, why is Top Chef really appreciated?
Yes. I'd love to say that Top Chef is like a pop culture phenomenon. Over the years, Top Chef has gone beyond the television to be part of how you eat and how you talk about food. Actually, France is the country of gastronomy, so there is a strong chance that if you talk about food, content, media in France, you will talk about Top Chef. We've managed to create really a pop star of food like Dany Keza, Maurice Sacco, for those who know those people from France. And in the jury, you have really true icons like Paul Perret, Glenn Viel, Philippe Etchebest. So that kind of stuff made Top Chef a love brand. We were talking earlier on about trusted brand. Top Chef is a trusted brand, actually, but also a love brand. So when you became a love brand, you drive desirability. And when you drive desirability, it's appealing for brands to connect with it. So that's how we tried to make, again, the planets align between Mercure and Top Chef. So when Top Chef meets Mercure, it's just like where excellence meets local taste. Local taste was quite important. It's a big part of the DNA from Mercure. So that's what we tried to do with this operation.
Mm-hmm. So that was the appetizer, correct?
Of course.
I got it. So tell us more about what this partnership actually entailed.
Yeah.
A bit more detail.
Like I said before, it's a full funnel activation. So I'm going to be quick about the two first one because it's quite classical one, and then I'm going to spend some time about the third one. The first one is, like I said, classical, but yet the most powerful one, of course, is the sponsorship of Top Chef. Top Chef, it's up to 3 to 4 million viewers on each episode, each prime time from March to May. Actually, it's maybe between 12 to 15 episodes each season. It's the 16th seasons for Top Chef this year. So it's a strong IP. And just the data for you guys, last year, 34 million people have been exposed to the show at least one time. So it's a big IP. And when the brands manage to connect with it, it's a strong transfer of values and a strong tool to create awareness. And sponsorship is good, but what's even better is when you can create instant recognition and a strong transfer of values, and you can do it so with what we call in France billboard. I think that in the UK, in English, we talk about TV ident. You know, it's this 8-second format that you aired before, during, and after the TV show and around the trailers. So to do so, we put some of the most recognized symbols from the TV show. So for example, I will just showcase one of them. We create maybe 18 to 20 different billboards for this campaign. And here you can see a former contestant from Top Chef have a small talk with a producer from Mercure.
Ah, je rajouterais bien un peu de sauge. Mais c'est qui?
C'est Jérôme, notre producteur.
Découvrez des produits locaux devant Top Chef avec les chefs Mercure.
C'est Jérôme.
Okay, so powerful content, classical content. There's more, right?
Yeah, that's right, with there's more. We did something that was really important for us, is how you can showcase what defines really the brand DNA, which is its taste for local flavors. As I said before, Mercure is a big company spread all over France, so that's what we wanted to do with this piece of branding content. And for 2 seasons in a row, we created and we aired À Table avec les chefs Mercure, where you can find 3 former Top Chef contestants meet all the Mercure chefs across France. So we've created this series, and I think I've got a video just after this slide. It's in French, but subtitled in English, and maybe more understandable than my accent.
L'année dernière, on est parti à la rencontre de 17 chefs Mercure. Cette année, je repars aux 4 coins de la France avec de nouveaux camarades de Top Chef.
Pour rencontrer de nouveaux chefs et vous faire découvrir leur passion pour les produits locaux et de saison.
Mais aussi les coulisses de leur cuisine avec leur brigade et les producteurs qui les accompagnent au quotidien.
Allez, à table.
Coucou mes petits chefs.
Coucou les amis.
Quel joli paysage.
Je suis à Angoulême.
Allez, c'est parti.
Tu vas bien?
Ouais, plus qu'à déguster.
Avec plaisir.
Un vrai petit couple.
Exactement.
Petit coquin. C'est le pays de la mâche.
On a des fleurs, on a des fruits.
C'est depuis 1820 qu'il se fait de l'élevage bovin ici.
On fait particulièrement de la spéciale d'Isigny.
Nous sommes dans les marais salants de Guérande.
Salut à tous, aujourd'hui c'est l'étape finale de notre Tour de France à table avec les chefs Mercure.
Je t'invite à aller déguster ces bons produits.
Ah, je vous suis.
So this is very cool content, of course, really, really interesting. But you've also created experiences in restaurants, correct?
That's right, Louise. What we did actually, we wanted to go from the TV screen to the real life. That's what we love about our job, actually. When you manage to create content like the one that you just see here, it's great, it's good. But what we love to do actually is when you manage to create experience in the real life. And that's what we did actually with Top Chef and Mercure. And we have brought the experience directly in the restaurant. We did a lot of activation, just 2 of them maybe. I talked to you early on about conversion. That's it was quite an important point for the client. So we have settled 9 exclusive evenings around the Mercure restaurants, open to the public by reservation. So it was a huge success, actually. We didn't expect that much success, but it was quite a great surprise for us. And of course, all the guests that managed to get their way in could experience, recipes by the Top Chef, and of course, small talk with them about the behind the scenes of the program. And they did it, of course, also with the chef from Mercure. And this one, just an overview about that kind of experience we did in the restaurants, including this exclusive breakfast recipes by the contestant directly into the buffet from Mercure. And my favorite was the one from Lilian Douchet, pistachio raspberry pastry. banger. So that's it about the activation, actually.
Okay, so we've seen all the different facets of this partnership, of course. Let's talk about how it was actually perceived and how it performed in the market.
Yeah, really quickly. Like you say, Louise, I wanted to end on the sweet note. So this is the fromage or le dessert, if you prefer. So for big campaigns like this, we have, of course, post-test, and as you can see, the results meet the expectation, and for some items, it exceed them also. So about storytelling, recognition, legitimacy, we talk again about trust. You can see that all the planets were aligned with that kind of items, and as you can see also on the second season, we have a score more important than the first one. So it's a good idea to work with us 2 seasons in a row, and of course. What was great is to see that this operation was well perceived by the industry. We won a lot of trophies. It's not exhaustive what you see on the left, but Top Chef plus Mercure was quite a hit. So we were happy about this. It was quite a big reward, big satisfaction for all the teams that work on this partnership.
So well done, great partnership there.
Thanks.
Wonderful. And the new season is in 2026 March.
Yes,
correct?
exactly.
With new sponsors.
New sponsors and between 12 to 15 operation, non-standard activation like this that we managed to sell for the next season. So yeah,
okay, we're looking
hit.
forward to discovering it. Thank you very much, Kevin. Give him a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Kevin. So now it's time to welcome Stéphane Coruble for a word of conclusion. Please give him a round of applause as well, Stéphane. Hello. Welcome. So it's been a great, afternoon with everybody here, rolling out everything that's been going on. Today's TV Key Facts was all about, the central conversation was about trust, Stéphane, and AdAlliance has made trusted media its business, correct? How? Let's take a look at the film and we'll have a chat just afterwards. Take a look.
In a world overwhelmed by voices, the truth gets harder to find.
Fake news. Fake news.
Who do you trust as a brand? Real journalism cuts through the noise. AdAlliance unites iconic media brands. The right place for a brand-safe media environment. Our DNA is storytelling. Stories that matter. A safeguard for democracy. Brands shape the world they advertise in. Support verified media. Choose impact that matters. Choose verified media. Trusted by people, supported by brands.
Great spot, excellent trailer, hugely impactful. Well done. It really reflects my reality, our reality, everybody's reality here, I think.
First of all, thank you, Louise, for being a host.
It's always a pleasure.
So many times, and once again, it was great having you today for
Very
the
welcome.
TV Key Facts.
Very welcome.
Every time I'm coming to an end to the TV Key Fact presentation, I feel a lot of energy. But when I see this movie, it's more than energy that I feel. I feel proud. I feel proud of being in this industry. I think it's very unusual for a TV sales house to, or a total video sales house, sorry, to speak this way. And I think this film is about, today's reality. Today's reality is full of information, whether it's real, whether it's fake. There's a lot of data, there's a lot of algorithm, there's a lot of things, a lot of noise. And it's really difficult for people to understand who and what to trust. And if I translate this into our industry, I think it's kind of challenging for clients, advertisers, agencies, to navigate through this noise and to understand what is the smart choice they should do every day when they need to talk about their brands.
Yeah, it's a crowded space. It's a difficult space to navigate in. And this is where RTL AdAlliance steps in.
Yes, absolutely. We have an ambition, which is pretty clear. We want to bring solutions. We want to bring insights. We want to bring solid facts to you guys, to the industry. And how do we do that? We do that by connecting advertisers and agencies to the most trusted media brands in Europe.
Okay, so what does the term trusted media really entail?
So I think trust and trusted media is that really the base and the foundation of what we do. And definitely trusted media is more than just another channel. It's a pillar of democracy. But we saw it in the previous discussions. It's also a business enabler. As we saw, there are many pieces of research that showcase the fact that being close to trusted media brands has a positive impact on your advertising effectiveness. And I think that really matters. At RTL AdAlliance, we connect brands with the most trusted media brands and trusted environments across Europe. And this is we call it a little bit of a virtuous circle. We need advertisers, we need our clients to continue to support us. We need the capability to continue to invest in trusted brands, in trusted journalism, in real news and not fake news, in local content, in order to drive and to continue to drive audiences for the brands.
So we have obviously today, while discussing, witnessed data that illustrates the challenges that the GAFA players are posing. So why does Europe need this kind of alternative, should I say?
Well, I think since a few days and a few weeks, I participate to symposium, and I'm always using this piece of statistics coming from WPP Media that shows that today nearly 75 to 80% of all advertising investments are going to 5 big global players. The rest is going to traditional media. It's even worse in the US. 91% of every new dollars invested today goes to 3 global players, including Amazon, Google, and Meta.
And why?
Why? Well, I think I must say they have great products. Let's make it clear. We are all using their products every day. They have a scale. They have global capabilities. They have very simplified products. They have standardized products for our clients, and that's very easy to buy, very simple. But they're lacking, something very important. They're lacking transparency. They're lacking accountability, and they're lacking trust in the end. And it's not us saying it; it's also the research which is saying it. Consumers do not trust or trust less brands that are close to non-trusted media.
And you're proposing a European alternative here.
Yes, absolutely. We represent an alternative in media because this is what we are. We represent the major trusted brands in Europe. We are brand safe by essence. We are also legally bound to be trusted and to be brand safe. I think we are very much transparent in everything we do in our industry. And far and foremost, we are accountable. We are accountable not only to the advertisers, but we are also accountable for the consumers.
Okay, so alliances, we could say, are really your strength. It's in the title, of course, bringing European broadcasters together. So what does this collaboration enable that others can't necessarily replicate?
Well, I think alliances is our superpower at RTL AdAlliance. I think it shows with the amount of partners that choose to be represented by us. And to be very honest, we are on a mission. We are on a mission to building the strongest network of trusted media brands in Europe. And I think it is only possible through some sort of consolidation. For many, many years, until today, we've been working with the number one or the number two in every market in Europe. And since a few months now, we've been discussing with additional cooperation. And the new collaboration and new cooperation we just announced in France and in Austria. We work now not only with M6 in France, we work with France Télévisions. In Austria, we work with, obviously, RTL, but we just announced last week a new cooperation on an international scale with ORF. And I think working not only with the number one, but potentially with the number one and the number two in every market is a form of consolidation of our media. And we need to continue to foster and to go into that direction.
So you're making trusted media accessible at scale now. And so how exactly are you simplifying things for advertisers?
So I think, in our world, which is becoming more and more digital, of course, scale is important. We saw it with the global giants, they have scale. But above and beyond scale, we need to have a standardized product, especially in digital. I will not take too long to highlight a few, and you will see it, I think, in the latest edition of the TVKF. We have it here, by the way.
I'm going to show everybody as well here. Very detailed.
We have as well a standardized product, especially in digital. And just to name a few, we have initiatives that we call media collections. Media collections is a package of different types of inventory across our different media partners across Europe in order to make our inventory simple to buy. We have developed data-driven products called smart audiences. It's some kind of access to different segments across Europe to make, again, our inventory easy to buy and effective for clients. We have SMB and retail media initiatives in Germany, in DACH, and soon to be expanded in other places in Europe. And maybe last but not least, just a few months ago, we came with a new initiative in order to make our inventory simple to buy from a technical perspective. It's called the RTL Ad Manager. With no fee, it's free. You can basically connect to the internet and access to our inventory and buy our inventory across Europe, wherever you are. You can be in Europe, but you can be on the other side of the world because the world is becoming a little village. So we need to make sure our inventory is accessible and simple to buy for all our clients around the world.
I think you've made it very clear. Trust isn't just a promise. It's also something that you share with your partners. Any closing thoughts before we wrap up for today?
Yeah, maybe a couple of points that I wrote down during this presentation. Trusted media protects democracy, but it's also good for the business. Premium content brings credibility, and brand safety requires shared responsibility. We are all the actors of brand safety in our world. Coming back to RTL AdAlliance, I think in short, we bring reach at scale. We have simplified product, standardized product to make our inventory simple to buy in a brand safe environment. We bring innovation in technology, obviously, and far and foremost, and I think that's very important to mention that, we are still in the people's business. We have a lot of experts around the world, around Europe, that gives you the right information that you need in order to take the right decision as a client.
Great. Thank you so much, Stefan, for
You're
your
welcome.
closing words.
Maybe one little word for the people watching us. You will see a little link underneath the screen, and you can download and order your edition of TVKF Facts by using the link underneath the screen. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Stefan. And thanks to all of you and to all of you for watching us today. That's all for now. See you next time. Goodbye.